What if the very thing you've been trying to avoid is actually the doorway to your greatest healing and personal transformation? Today's reading may reveal exactly what your soul is asking you to release so you can finally move forward. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sacred Season Healing. Today's reading is an emotional healing and personal growth tarot reading for the collective. Together, we'll explore what your heart may still be carrying, what Spirit is gently encouraging you to heal, and what inner strengths are beginning to emerge as you continue your journey. Remember, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates with you and simply leave the rest behind. Trust your own intuition. It will always be your greatest guide. Okay? If this reading brings you clarity, encouragement, or confirmation today, I'd love to have you join our growing Sacred Season Healing community by subscribing. Okay, now let's take a deep breath together and set the intention to receive whatever message we most need today and see what Spirit has to share. The first question I'd like to ask Spirit, what emotional wound, pattern, or experience is currently asking for the collective's attention and healing? Please show us clearly, Spirit. Thank you. What emotional wound, pattern, or experience is currently asking for the collective's attention and healing? Please show us clearly emotional wound, pattern, or experience, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, we got the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. The next question I'd like to ask Spirit, what belief, fear, or emotional burden may be keeping the collective from fully moving forward into their next chapter? Please show us clearly, Spirit. Belief, fear, or emotional burden that may be keeping the collective from fully moving forward into their next chapter. Okay, the 6 of Pentacles came out. Anything else? Okay, let's go to the third question, and then we will take a look at what the first half of this reading is saying, what Spirit's message is for us, okay? So the next question I'd like to ask Spirit, what inner strength, gift, or quality are you encouraging the collective to recognize within themselves during this healing journey, Spirit? What inner strength, gift, or quality are you encouraging the collective to recognize within themselves during this healing journey? Okay. Oh, quite a bit. Okay. So we have the 4 of Cups, the 3 of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Okay? So now let's take a look at what this message is for. So in question 1, again, we asked what emotional wound, pattern, or experience is currently asking for the collective's attention and healing, and we got the 10 of Pentacles. Now, with the 10 of Pentacles, this tells me that many of you may be carrying a wound connected to something that you believe would last. For some, this could be a long-term relationship, it could be a marriage, it could be a family dynamic, a career, it could be financial security, or simply the future you had envisioned for yourself, okay? Excuse me. Perhaps life didn't unfold the way you expected, and you're still carrying disappointment or grief or the feeling that something meaningful was taken from you. Okay, but Spirit is gently bringing this to your awareness today, not to reopen the wound, but to help you recognize that healing begins when we acknowledge what we've been carrying. Sometimes we don't just grieve the situation itself, we grieve the future we thought we were going to have. And so it's kind of like, grieving two things at once. Okay, and this is difficult. Yeah, and then the next question we asked is, what belief, fear, or emotional burden may be keeping the collective from fully moving forward into their next chapter? And we got the Six of Pentacles here. And the Six of Pentacles suggests that many of you may have been the one who consistently gave more than you received. You may have invested your time, your energy, your love, your patience, or your support into a relationship, family, friendships, or even your career, hoping those efforts would eventually be returned. And when that balance wasn't there, it created an emotional burden, okay? So now there may be a fear of experiencing that imbalance again. You may wonder whether people will truly value what you bring, or whether you'll once again find yourself giving everything while receiving very little in return. Okay? So Spirit wants you to know, excuse me, that healthy relationships and healthy workplaces and healthy connections, they're all built on reciprocity, okay? You are not meant to carry every relationship by yourself, okay? So let's move into question 3 now. It says, we asked, what inner strength, gift, or quality is Spirit encouraging the collective to recognize within themselves during this healing journey? And we got the Four of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Okay? So this is really a nice progression. The Four of Cups acknowledges the disappointment that you've experienced. Okay? Here, let's do it like this so you can see it better. I think Spirit isn't dismissing your pain here. He's recognizing that you've been through experiences that left you feeling emotionally unfulfilled. Okay? But the Three of Wands, it reminds us that our future has not been defined by those disappointments. Okay? Every experience, even the painful ones, has helped you grow in wisdom, clarity, and self-awareness. Okay? The future you're building now can look very different because you're no longer making decisions from the same version of yourself. You've grown from this, okay? And then we have the Queen of Cups, okay? So I think Spirit is encouraging you to keep your heart open. Don't allow past disappointments to convince you that you have to become closed off or guarded forever, okay? Instead, move forward with compassion, emotional maturity, and trust in your intuition. Continue to love deeply, but let your wisdom guide where you invest your energy, okay, moving forward. Your kindness is one of your greatest gifts. It simply deserves to be shared with people and situations that are capable of honoring it, okay? Okay. So I think the lesson is to become more intentional about who and what you give your heart to, okay? So what I'd like to do now before we move into the second half of the reading, and as you can tell, I've already asked the questions and pulled the cards for the second half. I'm trying out different formats in the readings lately because I'm trying to find a way that... Okay, I got cut off yet again. If you've been watching my videos lately, I've been talking about this in every video, but anyway, what I was saying is I'm trying different processes. This time I'm tried, asking the first 3 questions and pulling the cards, laying them out, and then hoping to save some time, okay, for you. So as I was saying, let me know if you like that, okay? I'm trying to be mindful of your time, okay? So you can let me know in the comments if you like this process where I pull the last 3 questions and cards off camera to save a little bit of time, okay? Or if you would prefer me just to do it all on the recording, okay? Okay, so at this time, let's reflect. I'm going to give you some journal prompts on the message that you have already received in this first half of the reading, okay? You can pause the video now and reflect, or you can come back to the video later and reflect on them later, okay? So the first question, where in my life am I still grieving a future or outcome that never happened? Have there been relationships or situations where I consistently gave more than I received? What have those experiences taught me about my worth and the kinds of connections I want to build moving forward? What boundaries or standards can help me create more balanced, reciprocal relationships? How can I keep my heart open while also honoring my own emotional well-being? Okay? So if this reading is resonating with you, please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. I'd like to hear from you in the comments. What lesson has your healing journey taught you about your own worth so far? Okay? All right, let's move in now to the fourth question I asked was, what truth, healing, perspective, or shift in mindset will help the collective release the past and continue moving forward? And we got the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Cups. Okay? Oh my goodness. Okay. So, with the with the Knight of Pentacles, it reminds me that every small step matters, okay? Emotional healing isn't a race. It's a journey built through consistency and patience and choosing yourself one day at a time, okay? The Knight of Wands, on the other hand, okay, it encourages you to reconnect with what inspires you, okay? As you release the past, allow yourself to rediscover your passions, your dreams, and the things that make you feel alive again, okay? And then the Page of Cups here, it reminds you to stay open-hearted. Don't allow disappointment to harden your heart, okay? Stay curious about life, remain open to new experiences, and trust that beautiful opportunities often arrive when we least expect them, okay? So Spirit isn't asking you to have everything figured out today. Spirit is simply asking you to take the next step, okay? Then the fifth question I asked is, what is the most important message Spirit wants the collective to remember as they continue their emotional healing and personal growth journey? And we got the 10 of Wands, the 6 of Swords, and the 9 of Wands, okay? Oh my goodness, these cards. So I think this is a compassionate message because I think Spirit recognizes that many of you have been carrying emotional weight, okay, for a very long time. Excuse me. The 10 of Wands asks you to honestly look at what you're still carrying. Some of those responsibilities or expectations, the guilt or emotional burdens, they may never have belonged to you in the first place, okay? And then let's go to the 6 of Swords. With the 6 of Swords, this is beautiful because it shows that you're already moving away from the most difficult chapter, okay? Healing doesn't erase what happened, but it does allow you to move toward greater peace, clarity, and emotional stability, okay? Then, I'm sorry, I have something in my throat. Okay, then we have the 9 of Wands. And I think right here, Spirit is honoring your resilience, okay? Yes, you've been through a lot. Yes, you've have had moments where you wanted to give up, but you're still here, okay? And you're wiser, stronger, and far more capable than you often give yourself credit for, okay? So keep going. The calm waters you're searching for are closer than you realize, okay? Okay. Then I ask Spirit, what blessing, okay, opportunity, inner transformation, or new beginning is likely to unfold as the collective continues healing and honoring their own beliefs and their own worth, I should say. I didn't mean beliefs, sorry. So let me read it again. I kind of butchered that question up. What blessing, opportunity, inner transformation, or new beginning is likely to unfold as the collective continues healing and honoring their own worth? Okay, now we got the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Four of Wands as our answer, okay? So the ending here of our reading is very hopeful because the Page of Pentacles shows that you're building a healthier foundation for your future, okay? You're learning what healthy relationships, healthy boundaries, healthy communication, and healthy opportunities truly look like. The Page of Pentacles is usually a student, right? So you're learning all these wonderful things, okay? Now, the Knight of Cups, it suggests that as you continue healing, your heart becomes more open to emotional fulfillment, okay? This could be a meaningful relationship. It could be a heartfelt opportunity. It could be deeper self-love, or simply just experiencing life with renewed emotional balance. You take it how it resonates for you. You know your situation, and you know how this is playing out in your life, okay? So if the past where you were overgiving was in a relationship, then this very well is linked to that, okay? If this was a job that you were overgiving and not receiving your any reciprocity with that, you know, like equal give and take, then that could be what the Knight of Cups is representing there, okay? So you take it how it relates to your story, okay? So after that, we have the Four of Wands, okay? And this is a card of stability, celebration, belonging, and emotional security. Spirit's showing that the work you're doing today is creating a much stronger foundation for you for tomorrow, okay? So whether it's within your relationships, your family, your career, or simply the relationship you have with yourself, you're creating a life that feels more peaceful, more balanced, and more aligned with who you truly are, okay? All right, I think that was a beautiful message today from Spirit. What I'd like to do next is give you some spiritual healing tools you can use throughout your healing practice. Take what resonates, leave all the rest behind, whatever speaks to your heart. That, you know, I hope that you use them, you know, and I hope I can provide that for you. But if none of them speak to your heart, that's okay too, okay? First, let me give you the affirmation. I release what no longer belongs to me. I move forward one step at a time, trusting that each new day is building a peaceful and fulfilling future. Okay? So another journal prompt that you might want to reflect on is, what emotional burden am I finally ready to put down? And what would become possible if I no longer carried it? Okay? And if you feel comfortable with sharing that in the comments, let us know. We're here as a community to support each other. Okay? Crystals, if you like to work with crystals, you might want to try rose quartz. It helps to encourage emotional healing and self-love, forgiveness, compassion, and keeping your heart open while maintaining healthy boundaries. Okay? And essential oil, you could try frankincense. Frankincense can support emotional grounding, reflection, inner peace, and spiritual connection during times of healing and transition. Okay? Now, a sound frequency, if you like that kind of thing, you could listen to 639 hertz. It's often associated with the heart chakra, emotional balance, forgiveness, compassion, and creating healthier relationships within yourself and others. Okay? And then the self-care, this is just an invitation. Take it or leave it. This week, you can choose one emotional burden you've been carrying and ask yourself, is this truly mine to carry? If the answer is no, practice releasing it, whether that's through journaling, prayer, meditation, a walk in nature, or simply giving yourself permission to let it go. Healing doesn't always happen through dramatic breakthroughs. Sometimes it happens through one small intentional choice each day. Okay? And I know that this is not easy, and I know that some days it seems like you're never going to get there, that you've been working on this for a long time, healing your heart, that sort of thing. But there is going to come a time where you look back on this and you say, now I see why I learned these lessons. Now I see why it took so long for me to heal from this. And now I see all the lessons I've learned from it and how much of a different person I am today because of it, So, and I think that's where your true gratitude and, your true gratitude will come in, okay? Just hang in there. Okay, so in closing, I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this reading brought you clarity, encouragement, and a reminder that healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about gently returning to who you've always been beneath the pain. Okay? So if this message resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment in the section below. And until next time, be gentle with yourself, trust your inner wisdom, and remember, every small step you take today is creating the peaceful future your heart has been working toward all along. Okay? Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.